The next one is Quantum Upsell.
Okay. So again, just for a little bit of context, Quantum is Verizon's data product, high-speed data product, which is symmetrical in its upload and download speeds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 75 megabyte download, you also have 75 megabyte upload. It's a fiber product, of course.
Mm-hmm.
High-speed internet is probably Verizon's most lucrative product for the small business market, and they have several 100,000 customers who qualify to upgrade to a higher speed, to a higher quantum speed that's symmetrical.
You said 7,500?
No, several 100,000.
Oh, several. Okay.
They probably have 200,000 customers
Mhm.
that qualify at different times. So historically, this group was targeted 5 to 6 times a year with an email program, perhaps once or twice a year with a direct mail program, making offers for them to upgrade. So each one was a one-off offer. The timing and the segmentation strategy was based on Verizon's business requirements, not the customer's requirements, if you will. Successful program. We felt we could do better with journey marketing. So what we did is we set up a series of journeys that did execute in waves, each wave lasting approximately 28 days. And within that wave, there were multiple email contacts made. And depending on, again, on the behavior of the customer, did they open the email, did they not? If they did open, did they click through to a customized landing page, did they not? Would then drive when and the type of communications, the type of offer that was offered to them after that. Unfortunately, in the initial journeys, we didn't have the integrations with the call centers, so we could not bring that particular behavior into the mix. This year, that will happen. That integration
Mm-hmm.
will be put into place. So each wave was about 28 days, and boy, I hope I have the details here right, Katrina. Part of what we were able to do, and part of Kitewheel's functionalities, is automated optimization.
Mm-hmm.
So with each email that went out, we would test a champion and challenger subject line. Kitewheel would listen and record the open rates. Whichever subject line won became the new champion,
Mm-hmm.
and then we introduced another challenger. So that happened once a week.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able are able to continuously optimize subject line in order to drive a higher open rate. At the same time, over the course of a given wave, we would test creatives. So for example, one creative might be value focused, which would talk about pricing. Another creative might be benefits focused, talking about the value of a higher speed internet data line, than the benefits to the business. So over the course of a wave, then we would assess that vis-a-vis the click-through rate to the landing page. And then the system would automatically tell us which creative won. We would have another creative ready to go as the new challenger. So we were optimizing both subject lines to drive open rates and creative to drive click-through rates.
Is it once a week?
Roughly, yes.
Uh-huh. What about landing pages? So you said they're custom?
Yes, they were custom design landing pages that matched up to the creative
Mm-hmm.
and whatever offer was being made.
What else is used as far as, so there's an email, custom landing page, anything else, at least last year?
Not last year,
Okay.
not under the initial waves.
But this year, tell me more about integration.
Well, this year we will be integrating some of the operating systems, including the call center, so we'll know if they actually called in and whether they ordered or not. So that will drive additional appropriate communications. With the landing pages, and we're going to also integrate with VZ.com, so we'll be able to track their landing page and website visits and how they interact with content that's presented to them. So based on how they interact with that content, for example, they may watch a video about the value and benefits of Fios Quantum. We can then design additional engagements that play off of that behavior on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Another system that we'll be integrating with is what's called the service order feed. This is the system that when someone does place an order, they go into the service order feed system, and that's where that's what initiates the provisioning process.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll know to pull them out of the promotional journey at that point because they have placed an order. And they will go into a holding status for that particular product until some point in the future after it's been installed, and we may set up some sort of a new product onboarding journey. That's still TBD.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also be introducing outbound telemarketing, so that if someone has exhibited significant engagement behavior, such as opening and clicking through to a landing page, but they have not bought, which is another reason we need the service order feed,
Mm-hmm.
they will then go to outbound telemarketing and be called,
Mm-hmm.
try to close the sale.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
And I believe, well, you just said yourself, what did Stephanie tell you on Quantum?
Mm-hmm. Over 3 million.
Yeah, well, and I think the sales rate went up like by 186% or something like that, or 86%. I can't remember now how she represented
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
it was a significant increase in sales over the previous year's BAU.
Right, because I had results from wave 1 through 5, and sales were up 154%. Opens more than doubled, click-through rate also went up.
Mhm.
And are we also still inspired to migrate sales to online channels and offload call centers on Quantum? Sounds like that was the goal last year.
Yes, Quantum is one of the product where in most cases, but not all, the sales can take place digitally.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, due to hardware configuration at the location, it may require an additional sales process because they may have to have a different type of router installed, for example, for the higher speed, that type of
Mhm.
thing.
Okay. And tell me more about the whole story. Reach mentioned that it was a very short period of time, so it's really difficult for big corporate clients to actually implement journeys. So can you imagine we're pitching this to La Quinta or another big potential client, so how we can concise that whole story?
Well, we launched, Quantum was the initial set of
Mhm.
journeys that we launched, and we launched Quantum approximately 4 months after we were given the go-ahead to move forward. We had been in discussions with Verizon for several months before that, but within 4 months, we got the initial journeys launched. They were somewhat simplified to get them out the door. The new JAMS platform has been, the long-term solution has been built since, and we'll launch here, I hope, within the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yay,
Yes.
maybe.
Why is it so difficult to implement journeys for those big corporate clients?
Well, number one, the systems that have to be built, the databases to store the data, the integration with Kitewheel and all of the listening capabilities, the audience management selection system. These are all things that really need to be highly customized to each client because the type of data is going to be different, the type of products are going to be different, and so forth. And they're fairly sophisticated systems and tools, and so it takes a while to specify those, build them, test everything, make sure it all works together before it can actually launch.
Okay.
This is pretty sophisticated stuff.
Mm-hmm. So what our new clients should expect? Let's say we want to implement journeys for Nokia or La Quinta. What should they expect as far as timing and infrastructure?
I would say for timing, to get initial journeys launched, probably 6 months is a good time frame to be thinking of, and that would be from saying go until the first journey hits the marketplace. Within that, though, one of the challenges particularly with larger companies is all of the security around their data. With Verizon, since we've been a trusted partner of theirs for 10 years, and we've been in charge of managing much of their data for that entire time, there was already established procedures and agreements in place and systems, so that we were able to leverage that into getting the journey marketing strategy launched. With the new client, that might add some additional time on the front end, is to get all of that set up and those agreements in place, and to be honest, to convince the IT folks that this is an okay thing to do. IT tends to want to keep everything internally. And with marketing, by definition, that data has to come outside to be used.
What is the price range for our journey services?
Oh, boy. I would, realistically, I would say we're looking at a minimum of $250,000 to set for the development work on the platform. Kite Wheel itself, the licensing fee, since it's a third-party app, is going to be probably in the $150,000 a year range, depending, and it's based on the number of records that are being processed, so that can vary substantially. Ongoing cost, just of the technical infrastructure itself, setting aside all the other marketing costs in terms of strategies and creative and everything, you're probably looking at a minimum of $25,000 to $30,000 a month. But all of this could vary wildly depending on the size and complexity of what we're setting up.
Okay. Well, it's still, even if they spent $1 million and gained $3 million,
Right.
it's a no-brainer. Perfect. Anything else that you want to add to Journeys?
Let's not sell another one anytime soon. Well, the interesting thing with going back to Verizon, the client has been so impressed with the results so far that there's a general movement and a general assumption on the business side that pretty much all marketing in the future should funnel through the journey strategy and system. We're working with Verizon now on some planning for future product launches, and the assumption there is that it's all journey based. And so all of the planning, and from an operational perspective, systems, marketing, branding, everything is now based on a journey approach. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, in the course of a year, they've come to realize this is the future of marketing, and it's where they need to focus their efforts on.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Will that be enough for